We were there to rehearse a TV programme called The Summer Show with some other New Faces winners like Marty Kane, Aidan J. Harvey, Trevor Chance, legends. Vic and I were the youngest ones. Victoria had won New Faces the year before, and everyone knew how good she was, except for her. She was so shy. She spent most of her time sitting in corners watching the incompetent mayhem, like the incident when our venerable and wise director violently threw a chair at us to teach us how to throw a chair in a light entertainment way. We did one show about dieting and food, don't ask, and Vic wrote a song called Never Spend a Fortnight on a Health Farm, You'll End Up with 14 Days of Health. To be honest, her songs were the best and most original things in an otherwise, well, let's say, patchy show. And when I say patchy, I mean some bits were pants and the rest was double pants. She'd already written a play by this time and had her own series with Julie, and I was pleased for her success, but somewhat disappointed that she hadn't incorporated her chair-throwing skills. About this time, she started to do stand-up comedy, and I've always admired this aspect of Vic's work. She's like a story engine, you know, in the tradition of Al Reed. Ken Dodd, if we're talking gag-per-minute ratio. Her material is indelibly stamped with her personality and technical skill, like a stick of rock with Victoria Wood all the way through it. You can recognise a Victoria Wood joke in the same way as you can a Woody Allen or Richard Pryor joke. And this unforced originality elevates her to a unique position in the business. She's a multiple threat, a hyphenate, writer, comedian, musician, actor, and she does it all with energy and commitment that serves as an inspiration to her colleagues. And what colleagues? Look at this room. Look at this room. It's like the canteen on Last of the Summer Wine. But older. Victoria's always been a much valued contributor to comic relief. And one year, when I couldn't go out to Africa to make a documentary for personal reasons, she stepped into my shoes. Richard Curtis told me that when she was asked to go in my play, she said yes, straight away, with no fuss. It was a major favour, and I was immensely moved that she would do something like that for me. So if there's anything you want me to do, Vic, you know, like carry a tray in a wobbly way for Miss Babs, you know where I am. The best thing about it, of course, is that we're pals. We have been since the beginning. Whenever we see one another, she's always interested in family and work and stuff, and she treats me like an equal. I like that. It's good to humour one's friends. God bless you, Vic. In a male-dominated field, you're a queen amongst men. Okie dokie. The next package of clips is from the early days, so watch out for dungarees, the friar tuck haircuts, and if we're lucky, a joke about macaroons. Here it is.
Please welcome Victoria Wood.
There's a tin in the office cupboard labelled Lorraine.
First time I found myself cheering for Vic was when she did New Faces. I was in a room in Birmingham with her university pals, and it was a marvellous evening, actually, when she just came thundering through, and nobody had ever seen anything like it.
Probably be something practical in stainless steel.
The first time I heard of Victoria was on That's Live.
More sex, please, we're British, that's not very nice. Once no girl admitted to doing it twice. Now Britain's vibrating and it can't all be snoring. If that's all they do, it must be so boring.
I was aware of Victoria Wood many, many years ago when I was working at Granada Television, and I had a friend called Peter Eckersley, who was head of drama there. And Peter told me about this young girl that he'd not discovered, he'd come across. And he said, she's wonderful, she's going to be a huge, huge star. He said, well, as a writer and a performer.
It's bad enough at school without the wireless. We have it nearly every afternoon. It's something called music and movement, where you run about to a tune. Handicrafts can save your life. Get a bit of lino and a Stanley knife. Some fur fabric, clip-ock and foam. You'll be happy stuffing pandas till the cows come home.
My husband, Peter Eckersley, was a producer at Granada, and he came home one night and said, I've seen this wonderful girl doing a play called Talent at the Sheffield Crucible, and I'm going to buy it for television, which he did.
Very nice, is it?
It don't matter. Let's start somewhere.
And it's wonderful. I've got a copy of it, and it really stands up.
They don't take girls from offices to be on the television.
They do? What about Pam Ayers?
She probably knew someone.
What, slept away to the top? Come in, Miss Ayers, get your corsets off and read us a poem about hedgehogs.
I've always had that feeling with Victoria. that she was in it for the long game, that she'd probably be famous and good in 40 years, because it wasn't just that she was riding a particular moment and a particular fashion. You just knew that she was going to watch life in an interesting, complicated and funny way for the rest of her life.
How about a kiss, eh?
Oh, foreplay. Oh, you don't have to. We could always do it afterwards if there was time.
There's a side of Victoria we don't normally see. Now, there are a couple of other people who wanted to come tonight, but unfortunately, they couldn't make it. But even more unfortunately, they recorded this.
What's this for? Victoria Wood. Victoria Wood. Was it This Is Your Life? 100 Bafta tribute. Is it? Is she poorly? Is she not, is she? Oh, no. She was quite supportive to us, wasn't she?
No, she was not.
When we first started, I'm saying, when we...
And she nicked all our gags.
Did she?
Yeah, we used to do that song about the Roger Me Senseless on the Hostess Trolley song. Yeah.
She's made that, didn't she? And when she sings it like that, I think that's never going to happen.
It was supposed to be done with cellos. Well, I'll tell you where I liked her best on Julie Walters' show. She was very good on that.
Do you know, I like her when she works. It's much better than a double act, isn't it, always?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but Julie Walters
better.
I think she's the brain.
She's the funniest,
She's the one that does all the writing.
She is, yeah.
She's obviously the talent there, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
The only reason she got by is because she's a woman. She's a woman. Big woman in comedy, I said. Here we go.
Chances men aren't.
Right.
Can you tell me what you actually think of Victoria Wood?
Oh, I love her. She's my best friend.
Yeah, she's an inspiration to both of us.
Yeah.
And she truly is a great lover.
Mother.
Mother.
Bring things right up to date, a man who's currently working with Victoria in her new musical Acorn Antiques. Call 1-800-ACORN Antiques. Text ACORN. He's one of Britain's best-loved comedy actors. He was Rocky in Boone. He was Tony in Men Behaving Badly. And most impressively of all, he was Bob Lofty and Farmer Pickles in Bob the Builder. Please welcome Neil Morrissey.
I first saw Victoria, actually, when I was around about 13. I saw her in a play with Julie Walters. It was a Crucible in Sheffield. And the play was called Talent. And talent was indeed the right word for it, because Victoria was brilliant. And from that moment on, of course, 25 years ago, it's probably closer to 30, sorry, Vic, I was a great fan of hers. And I've been closely following Victoria's career ever since. Back in the early 80s, of course, I became a regular viewer of Wood and Walters. And then, of course, there was As Seen on TV, which is even more popular, because that show wasn't just nominated for a BAFTA, it actually won 4 of them. Pretty good. Have 4 of those little fellas on your shelf. Yeah. But then in 1998, along came Victoria Wood and her regular cast with the hit show Dinner Ladies. Of course, Julie Walters, Celia Imrie and Duncan Preston, who are, in fact, so good, yes, who are so good, I think we should take a look at them in action.
They think now that pressure at work can affect your sex life. They did a questionnaire. Are you too busy to have an orgasm?
Orgasm? I haven't blown my nose since Wednesday.
Victoria Wood uses, more or less, she's got her own little repertory company, if you like.
Isn't he gorgeous?
She's moulded them to have that sense of humour, that sense of timing and the sense of ridiculous that she writes so well.
I tell you who's nice that I like.
Who's nice that you like, Brent?
Woody.
Alan?
Woodpecker. Who's Alan Woodpecker?
In terms of brilliance of writing and observation, I love Dinner Ladies. I think it's a wonderful concept.
It's a melting pot, Stan. We're just going to toss ideas into the pot. It's a toss pot.
She doesn't have to have grotesques to make it funny. She conjures humour out of real life, and that's the test of a real writer.
Your lavatory smells fresh. There's a tang of the ocean about it, isn't there? And a hint of summer breezes. Come through.
She gives us such gems to say. You know, we're the lucky ones, I think.
Out of a workforce of 5, at any given moment, one will have premenstrual tension, one's panicking because she's not, someone's having a hot flush, and someone else is having a nervous breakdown because her HRT patch has fallen in the minestrone.
That was a one-off. Every one of the characters in Dinner Ladies is so rich.
Just give us a tea bag, I'll suck it on the way up.
And even if people just come in with a couple of lines, they're never empty people. They are fully rounded characters.
Cup of tea?
Did you get that skirt from a catalogue?
No.
Pity. You could have sent it back.
Think of these new cordless kettles. I think they're rather a boon.
I was a desert rat. When you're shaved in sand and had to boil water in a paper bag, you don't get very excited about kettles.
I was wondering, I've lost a lot of weight, and I could do with having all the loose skin removed here.
Yes, we've done that before. The lady came out with lovely upper arms, very tight skin. It was just as she went out in the sun, you know, she had to prick them with a fork.
I was working, I do remember, at the RSC at the time when I got the call.
Rochdale Social Club.
Yeah, it's still the RSC. When I got the call to be in Dinner Ladies, and I was thrilled to be asked. And she gave me the immortal line...
Is it a sit-down toilet?
Yeah.
That's the only sort I go on.
Which I'm very grateful to have in my life.
There's a girl in there.
Is there?
Didn't put me off.
I saw them in 2 Soups. It's the funniest sketch that's ever been done.
Ready to order some?
Trouble is, in front of the live audience, if we'd laughed, we'd have absolutely ruined it. So Duncan and I had quite a task to be the straight guys, I guess.
Couldn't look at each other. I mean, we tried not to look at Julie, but all you could see were these enamelled teeth. It was just very, very funny.
Hope you enjoyed your meal, sir. No tip. Bastards.
So, it seems that everyone loves Victoria. Me, Bafta, all of you. If we're not hurling awards at her for TV shows, we're packing the Albert Hall to see her stand-up and her songs. On to a seamless link. Here to talk about Victoria's stand-up and songs are a group of young men who come from a place whose inhabitants include a psychotic frog collector, a butcher who makes special sausages, and a woman who breastfeeds pigs when she isn't running her local shop for local people. All the way from Royston Vasey, please welcome Jeremy Dyson, Mark Gatiss, Steve Pemberton, and Rhys Shearsmith, collectively known as the League of Gentlemen.
Thank you, Neil. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, because there are 4 of us, we decided to do our bit like a school assembly. So we've all written 50 words on why I love Victoria Woods. We first met Victoria Woods at the television festival. We first met Victoria Woods at the television festival in Montreux. And I can remember instinctively going up to her and shaking her hand and saying, "Hi, how are you?" with a big smile on my face. And it was only when she gave me her order for melon balls and crispy duck that I realised she doesn't know who I am. We've never met. But for me, seeing her sitting there was like seeing an old friend. And this is her enormous skill, particularly as a stand-up. We feel we've shared quite intimate details about her life, whether it's her pregnancy or doing the school run or trimming her pubic hair and chucking it out the window for the birds to line their nests with. Whatever. She makes us feel included, and this is why I love Victoria Woods.
Victoria was a huge influence in our formative years. At the heart of her work is an incredible truth and a gift for capturing the way real people speak. Indeed, we like to think of her as a kind of Northern Alan Bennett. Like us, she was brought up on a diet of Pebble Mill, the Cedar Tree and Crown Court. Mediocre Mediocre afternoon telly, which she clasped to her comedy bosom. She created a range of brilliant